1,000 subscribers. Quite a massive feat if you ask me. Back when I started making YoGuy content, I completely doubted that I would ever make it here. I didn't even think I could reach 300 if I'm being honest. The entire idea of me soon getting my greedy little hands at that money from YouTube is quite unnatural. I took a very long journey to get here, though I only consider when I started making YoGuy content to be when I started my channel. Although I will bring up some of this channel's past. Before, I was just a child who believed he could be as popular and as cool as others by making simple Minecraft tutorials, like the blocks to make an iron golem, let's say. My past self always wanted the made content to be easily understood and highly explained, so there wouldn't ever be anyone being nervous or confused about the video. I would often have spoken like I was talking to thousands on the internet, although no one really watched my content besides myself. Usually I would say in my videos, like and subscribe guys if you want to see more of this. I acted quite delusional if I'm being honest, though I also acted a lot more thankful. When I would get a like, my face would be brimming with a smile. When I got a subscriber, I would celebrate. I didn't take the content too seriously, and I would always be cheerful and positive on my videos. I would connect my iPhone to a computer, and then record a video game, and then make it a series, believing that others would care about the series as much as myself. I would make Digimon, Pokemon, Fortnite, and Minecraft series. One group of content that I very well remember was trying to get a Victory Royale, part blank. I would be proud of myself for the somewhat small things I did as a child. That entirely may be the cursed nostalgia for at least how I remember it. Though I definitely do know that my past was quite average for a creator. A couple of years later, I felt quite sad and negative, beating myself up for not wanting to do difficult schoolwork at the time and whatever. Quite a baby I was, and that night I thought deeply and looked back on my videos, seeing the messes and cringe that they were. I wasn't proud of them at all that day, and instead had felt like they were a complete waste of space. And overall I just wanted to start off again with a new clean slate. In the past I always to a degree enjoyed the idea of restarting, that the past wouldn't matter and only the future and present would. It was a kind of lonely and secretive feeling I had, though I did all the time. The idea of escaping a subject really felt quite majestic to me, or may I say, divine to myself. As well, it was a feeling of freedom, like I wasn't strapped to a particular event. If something didn't go well, I could always just start over again with more experience and skill. That is exactly what I had done for all the videos other than my most popular video at the time, that Pokemon Go video and whatever. I had rebooted the channel in some way or another with a better mindset and better set on gaining popularity. Instead of posting more personal and simple videos, I would make things that would be understood and appreciated to a more widespread audience. An audience that would understand and be entertained, even if they just met me. From then and onwards, I've disliked a particular idea that most small creators think that'll work out well. That simple-minded idea is to create a video game series with parts or episodes. Will's World. When a viewer sees a big YouTuber playing a game and making a series out of it, they themselves may be entertained, which brings up the idea that they can entertain others in the same exact way. They don't think about the reason why it is so entertaining. And the actual reason why it is so enjoyable to watch is because of the YouTuber's personality. They don't just start off with series and whatever, they build their way through creating a relationship and a somewhat bond between the personality and the viewers. Without this build-up, a viewer will just see you as an average and random individual who they really shouldn't be wasting their time with. I have learned this through my experiences as well as before the deletion and after. I tried many different things that I really did think would work well, but it turned out not. At that period of time, I made it to around 60 subscribers, and was indeed rising more, but still quite slow. That is until I saw a spark, looking back at my 3DS cartridge case, filled with so many. One stood out to me, and I had a flashback. That game was Yokai Watch 2 Psychic Spectres. I didn't immediately think of making content on it, although I did want to complete the save file as a justice to my younger self. I loaded up the save, and then went into the infinite tunnel, searching for yokai that I could never find as a kid. That yokai was Staticking, which was the last seal I actually needed to get Elder Bloom. And what do you know, I did indeed find it at the farthest I'd ever been at that time in the tunnel. I was incredibly overjoyed and hit the record button, since it was quite rare at the time. Although I didn't get Staticking, it started off my journey as a Yokai Watch 2 YouTuber. I got a ton of views compared to the Minecraft and Fortnite videos I was making at the time. It inspired me to create more Yokai Watch content. I'll continue to complete my medallion, collecting many seals for legendaries such as Arachnia, which would eventually turn out to be the iconic yokai of the channel many months later. Eventually, I would actually start to enjoy the game and wanted to play the game for a much longer length of time. That is why I decided that completing the medallion was way too easy for me, and that I would need a much more difficult challenge that would last for many years. So I raised my expectations and created a new challenge. The more difficult one was to get as many trophies as possible in Yokai Watch 2 Psychic Specters, as well as 99 of each item, if I could, to fully complete my save. Surely that would give me enough time of enjoyment as well as motivation. I knew it was going to be hard, so I did a bit of brainstorming looking through all of the trophies, and what I found was one of the most difficult things I had ever seen. It was a silver trophy, mind you, where you need to fight the second hardest boss in the entire game, along with 12 other bosses, 100 times. That means that you have to fight a total of 1,200 side bosses and 100 catch cradles. It was absolutely insane to me, and that is why I wanted to do it, for the difficulty. This thought eventually led up to the series that would be the most popular group of shorts in the entire community's history, that being the Paradise Ball attempts. And that is how the idea came to fiction. It got the most views I had ever gotten on my channel, ever since one of the very old videos, as well as earning me many subscribers. As well, I was actually having fun doing it. I didn't feel forced at all, and it actually seemed like quite a cool thing to do. Although I may have used some teams from one attempt to the next, I would always try and make it exciting by sometimes bringing new teams. It was to show that you can be whoever you want to be. You don't have to follow the teams and rules of tutorials. If you want to bring your favorite yokai, let's say Count Zapway, you can have a Swash Soul attached to it, or some Uncle Infant Souls adjacent to it, if you're feeling brave. Not quite sure what you would do, to be honest, but you would know much more than me if it was your favorites. In fact, in this video right here, I will be showing you in the future that I can defeat many bosses along with Cat Kraydel using 6 of my favorite yokai, Arachnia. So if I can do it, what is stopping you from using one of yours? Now, back onto the shorts. Sometimes my views would drop a bit, and sometimes they would rise back up, though overall it was very successful. As I went on with Paradise Ball attempts, the more unique teams I defeated Cat Kraydel with. Well, that was until I found out how overpowered Shogunyan was, and how little efforts you could defeat Cat Kraydel with them. Those are the times I regret most in the Paradise Ball attempt series. I was being lazy, and in my opinion, the shorts became less entertaining from the non-variety of my team. To make it worse, guess what, guys? On the 56th attempt, I got the Paradise Ball, a 1 in 100 chance, with the exact lazy-filled team of Sergeant Burley, Shogunyan, Sergeant Burley, Shogunyan, Sergeant Burley, Arachnia. I swear, I am the most unlucky dude who plays Yokai Watch 2. I had to get it with the yokai I now hate so very much, Shogunyan. Soon after, I would start back the series since my main goal was to, of course, get 99 in total. It would then be titled Yokai Watch 2 Second Paradise Ball Whatever Attempt. Through the Paradise Ball attempts, I got my own community, as well as meeting others that would be some of the most recognizable Yokai Watch YouTubers many months into the future. That include people like Tuna Paluga, Waganog, Galitinn, Controversy, and a few more. There was also Enter Cactus, but we'll forget about him since he only watched one of my shorts. The point is that without that part of my channel, I wouldn't have known such great people. A topic we will be talking about today and the most likely last part of the channel are going to be the live streams. Throughout some of the time when I made shorts, I had a long-lasting sickness. This sickness gave me a ton of time, though it also prevents me from continuing my sandy attempts as well. This is since I sounded like I was gasping while drowning. It just sounded absolutely horrible. While I had that sickness, of course, I had a ton of time, as I said before, so I tuned into the Yokai Watch YouTuber named 101 Leafy Streams. He inspired me to start streaming, and I practically promised him that I would eventually become one of the biggest Yokai Watch YouTubers in the community. I most likely wouldn't have started streaming, and would have continued to only doing Paradise Ball attempts without 101 Leafy. In the past, I had thought of an idea of streaming, but never fully went through with it. They gave me the final push I needed. At first I started streaming Yokai Watch 4 and making a playthrough of it. The first stream gave me quite a bit of things to talk about, since I was the only main Yokai Watch 4 streamer at the time. As well, I had met a person that would be much more of an important figure in the future. That person was Jaffa. There's also 22 Blue, Gideon J, WH, and Builder Toad who returned into the stream from the shorts. At least, to myself, it was quite an entertaining stream compared to the others. Though when I ended it, it gave me false hope for the other streams, and man, that was surely an infinite inferno of a time. Like all streamers, the early couple streams did go the best, at least with viewers. In my opinion, those were the hardest and most difficult times of my channel. I would have always streamed about 3 hours of content, which was a huge jump for my shorts. Behind the scenes, I would have my family try to be somewhat quiet so it wouldn't disrupt the stream. And when they disrupted it, I would get incredibly frustrated since it took me a ton of effort back in the day to be doing what I do in streams. My first streams would be having around 4 to 6 concurrent viewers on average, and it's not too many talking in chat. Now, when a Canadian that doesn't know how to read Japanese, with a dead chat, streams Yokai Watch 4, guess what happens? That Canadian has near nothing to talk about, making the streams more boring, and decreasing the views even further. This is the exact problem I had, which made me somewhat sad during streams. Although Human Being and Gionia would sometimes be typing in chat, it wasn't really enough, since without them it would be a bit of a nightmare, man. On many of my streams, I would ramble on and on about how important it is for viewers to type and communicate in chat. This happened for 5 of my streams after the first. I didn't look forward to streaming at all, and instead thought of it as a chore. Until an old viewer, back from the Paradise Ball attempt series, came into the streams. That person was called houtarou. He would always give me something to talk about, make me feel less lonely, and question on how well I actually knew Yokai Watch 2. He was a great guy, and kinda like Desperado at the time. I specifically remember him questioning me on what the name of the Venox quest was. Although I did remember a comic titled Enma and the Serpent, I wasn't 100% sure if that was right or wrong, since there is barely any information on Enma and Yokai Watch 2. Without houtarou, I probably wouldn't continue streaming and would rather give up, so huge thanks to houtarou. Oh, and there was also a viewer called Random Toad, who joined during a Sheen grinding livestream in Yokai Watch 4. Not that Sheen. It's a different Sheen, guys. It's a different Sheen. houtarou, Zarude, Random Toad, as well as myself, would make many memories in the near future with each other. Soon there was going to be a stream on Yokai Watch 4 that really started the enjoyment I had with streaming. In that stream, I had a bunch of new members, as well as being my first stream to get 100 views. I was having a great time overall in that stream, having an active chat, many quizzes, and memorable memories. Of course, my unluckiness had to come eventually, and it sure did. 2 days later, I would catch another sickness of the channel, which didn't last as long as the sandy one. It was a series of 19 days, where I couldn't make any content, which absolutely sucked, man. And it sure did make an impact, since I was just starting to grow and to get my community back. With all that time, I wasn't lazy and whatever. Instead, I did something that would be incredibly useful in the future. With streaming, the first idea was to never actually broadcast Yokai Watch 4. It was actually to live stream Yokai Watch 2. After all, I was a 2 YouTuber and had never done any other content from the other games. There was one small issue though. It isn't as easy to stream on 3DS that it is on Switch, at least for myself. Since I didn't want to get a new 3DS that was physically modded, I would instead have to mod the 3DS digitally. I had an incredible amount of trouble when doing it, although I even had a tutorial. At the time when I was sick, I practically knew nothing about moving files and how basic things would work. The process of getting it would take an incredibly long amount of time, as well as troubling. To start off, I didn't even have an SD card reader, so I couldn't even edit the files. Then after that, I somehow encrypted the files on the SD card. I then needed to somehow move the files to a separate SD card. Afterwards, many more things occurred, including something that I had absolutely no clue how to fix, and I was actually terrified. My 3DS screen would be pitch black, active if it was dead, even when the battery was turned on. It was like I was an old blind man trying to play a popular video game. Eventually, I had gone better, and tried to forget what happened to my 3DS. I streamed quite normal for a couple of streams, and I did have more than usual for viewers. Then there was that fateful day, that might as well be a miracle. On February 23rd, 2023, when I streamed some cracking boss grinding in Yokai Watch 4, I met a viewer by the username of Taiceii. This person wasn't any average viewer. What made him so special is that he was very experienced with homebrew, as well as the glitches that you may come across with a 3DS. And guess how I got that blind visual glitch? It was from trying to get the application on the 3DS, known as homebrew, the exact thing that Taiceii was so knowledgeable about. I soon contacted him on Discord, and through much confusion between the both of us, he eventually had fixed it. In only a few hours, he managed to make work with the thing that was seemingly impossible for myself to fix. At the moment, I had earned the ability to stream Yokai Watch 2, 3 blasters, and pretty much all owned 3DS games on Citra. Without Taiceii, I would always be stuck streaming Yokai Watch 4 and would be an entirely different person to who I am now. Just thinking about it, there are so many bad things that could have happened throughout my YouTube channel. Man, I am incredibly lucky to be having barely any issues and regrets currently. In an alternative path, I would have been stuck doing Paradise Ball attempts and would gradually die out. I could have never started streaming 3DS Yokai Watch games. And then another thing we will be focusing on in the video. What if I would have left my channel completely from the alt account controversy? So yeah, that is pretty much why it took me so long to be able to stream 3DS games, as well as how I kinda did it. I started my Yokai Watch 2 streaming journey by making a series about trying to get 1 million yards in the Infinite Tunnel. Remember, way back then the video, when I was talking about my goal of getting 99 Paradise Balls and pretty much fully completing my save file in multiple ways. Well, I also had another goal to top it off, that I didn't really mention. That goal was to get 999,999 yards in the Infinite Tunnel, aka the maximum possible to get. Something that Japanese players couldn't even do. I knew that it was going to be hard, though I was hoping that it would eventually work out, so back to the stream anyway. At the 8-minute mark, I kept saying how hard it was to get views for Yokai Watch 2 games and just complain a ton. I would say, Yokai Watch 2 streams don't do that well. As well as many other things, to try and figure out why I wasn't getting too many views at that moment. Yet did I know that I just had to give the stream 20 minutes for it to start to spark. Around there, houtarou, Slowdown, and Taiceii joined, which made it much more fun. As well as many viewers that would come back a very long while later into the future, like Encrypted Dysfunction. In total, I would have gained 102 viewers for my first Yokai Watch 2 stream, which is absolutely incredible. Even after that, my next 2 stream would be even better, with a new viewer and YouTuber joining into our community that most of you know, TheLgameZ. He would eventually hand over one of his Discord servers to my community as an act of kindness for a tough time that we were facing. Maybe someday I could make a video on our Discord community, but that would be pretty long and boring in my opinion. it would pretty much just be about Jeff and pretty much controversies. Anyway, I described TheLgameZ quite a lot and how I felt about him in my 500 subscriber special, so you can check that video out if you want to. Link is in the description. Quite a great guy, I would say. By the way, there's a link in the description as well to his channel if you want to see some of his content. The more I would stream YKW 2, the more it would be what I was known for, as well as the more I would leave the YKW 4 YouTube space, leaving behind many 4 YouTubers that I never even realized. I would be streaming a variety of things for YKW 2, such as grind for very rare yokai. I'd be grinding levels in the Hacklook Express, where most of you remember the thumbnails, with most of you saying that it looks like a video game ad for whatever reason. I don't know why, man. And then the majority of the streams were my favorite series, the 1 Million Yard Walk. Oh, and by the way, I would unlock the community tab on YouTube after many years of creating a community. I had to get to around 400 subscribers to get it, while so many with around 20 subscribers already got the community tab. Although not Games with Will, because YouTube has a special dislike for Canadians, if you know what I mean. I kept making jokes about how YouTube would never give me the tab between the 200 to 400 subscriber range. With this community tab, I would first ask what my viewers' favorite Yokai Watch game was between Blasters and YKW 2 for a bit of curiosity, since I had thought at the time that those two were the best games from the series. The winner would turn out to be YKW 2, from how much nostalgia was surrounded around that game. I kinda did expect that it would be YKW 2, although I didn't expect to win over the poll so much with a 78% compared to the 22% for Blasters. That poll wasn't too important though, the next one sure would be to where we are now. A poll about the series that you guys are very familiar with, the only Eerie streams. As no, it's a YKW 3 playthrough, though it could have been very different due to the poll. I haven't yet told you what the question was, though it's pretty easy to guess. I asked which Yokai Watch game my viewers would like to see out of the 4 options, aka a question for what game I would be doing the only Eerie streams on. And it wasn't even close. YKW 3 had absolutely dominated with a 50% in deciding that I would soon make this series on that game. As a YKW 2 YouTuber, I didn't like 3 too much, and didn't even give it a chance till the Eerie streams. As I kept playing through the game, I liked it more and more. Playing with the only Eerie team made it much better as well. We would always be hyped up for each only Eerie stream, and most times would have a fun time naming yokai. As well as watching Lario get stronger and stronger was quite entertaining for me myself, and getting Duck was just an incredible moment, after such a long time of attempts during one stream. Anyway, after making many streams on the only Eerie, Million Yard Walk, and boss grinding in 4, I made a very dumb decision to make a new community poll that I would say was the most recognizable question in this channel. That question was, what my viewers' favorite types of streams were. At first listen, you would think that it wouldn't be too important, but the poll had a different meaning. That meaning was to discontinue one of those series. The 3 options for what would be eliminated were, as you would have guessed, though the result was nothing like I would expect. For most of the time, boss grinding and the 1 Million Yard Walk were nearly tied. There was only around a 3% between the both of them for most of the time of the poll. I didn't like playing the game, as I could not understand the games, since I could only read English. YKW 4 as a game overall just wasn't as fun as YKW 2 or YKW 3. Judged on the opposite side, the Million Yard Walk was actually incredibly fun for me. I enjoyed making the thumbnails, and would make the stream somewhat relaxing, talking about many topics, as well as what I thought would be at the end of the tunnel when I was a kid. I had fall streams as a child, and would wish that there was a secret yokai, secret cutscene, or something to make it all worth it, you know? Something that not even Japanese players could achieve. An absolute beauty of a flex. Those reasons motivated me to cheer for the 1 Million Yard Walk to win, so I could hopefully stream YKW 4 less, along with getting further into the tunnel for the 1 Million Yard Walk. In the end of the poll, the winner between the 2 options was the YKW 4 boss grinding. A single hour changed its point completely. There was only a single percentage away from it being tied. Though of course, I would make sure that it wouldn't end like that in some way or another. That poll didn't actually have options. It entirely was planned to remove a YKW 4 series and give an excuse for stopping. As well, it would make it more entertaining and dramatic to me making a poll over it. Only Eerie or the boss grinding. One of those two would be removed no matter what would happen. And of course, nothing can defeat the only Eerie series, so the boss grinding would perish. A while afterwards, I would make an all boss grinding stream in YKW 4, where I would try to defeat all the bosses I possibly could. That would be the last boss grinding 4 stream that I would ever do. After that, I had many excuses to not stream YKW 4, and after 2 months, everyone would forget about the long-lost series. Although the Infinite Tunnel streams would be revived in about 65 days, I would bring it back in the form of 980,000 yards to 1 million yards, a special stream that is yet to happen. I'm drifting way too far into the future, so let's go a bit back into the past. The only Eerie stream, part 4. Onwards, there will be a bunch of controversies that I'll be discussing, just to let you know. A person that would be somewhat iconic in my channel would join the stream. Lord Medalium. At first, they were pretty chill, though what I didn't know at the time was that that individual falsely banned me on Discord. They had been harassing me for an incredibly long length of time. First joined the community a very long time ago, when I didn't even start streaming. They were a kind of competitive player that would love to use Shogunyan, who had quite an attitude. I once fought them, not being too experienced at the competitive side of YKW 2, and lost. For whatever reason, this dude started bragging like crazy and just being a jerk overall, man. They would eventually have broken the rules in my Discord server by saying too many sexual things on Discord, and because of that, I banned them like a reasonable person. Then this dude DM'd me a sexual videography from the hub, and that is what would give my soon banned account a second strike. It was completely unfair, and of course I somewhat hate that individual because of how disrespectful they were, as well as making me restart Discord servers many times. Whenever I think of them now, it makes me quite frustrated, like I am now. So basically, Lord Emma was the person who falsely banned me on the Discord once, as well as gave me a second strike to a banned account when I did turn 13. For whatever reason, this person would create a ton of alt accounts and join for fun or something. I still don't really get it to this day. They would first be doing it as a kind of joke, which was annoying to me but acceptable. I would describe them as childish, quite foolish at the time of creating those alt accounts, man. Though it wouldn't just stop there. Here is when the real controversy came to be. Galitinn, a Yokai Watch content creator, who was mainly known for his Hall of Fame series. He would create elections for YouTubers in the community, and would give trophies as an online video. He would start off by having a poll asking, vote for this month's inductee, having 3 YouTubers in the poll. Then the Yokai Watch community would vote for who they thought was the best Yokai Watch YouTuber out of the 3, or who they liked the most. After the results were finished, there would be a video posted that would pretty much be like an internet version of a trophy, at least in the community. So now you could see how so many fans of the Yokai Watch community looked up to the Hall of Fame, including myself. You may be wondering, Will, what does this have to do with you? Like, so far you have said that the real controversy started here, but all that you have talked about is how Galitinn makes his content. Well, around this time, I would have something to do with this content. By that, I mean I would be one of the options in the Hall of Fames. For my Hall of Fame poll, it was the least popular one out of the many before. It wasn't too unpopular, but since it was more unpopular than the others, an event would be dramatically more powerful. Alts. Alternative accounts. That happened. Lord Emma could create as many alt accounts as he wanted and then vote on the poll. Cheating. And that is exactly what he did. While I was promoting the poll on one of my streams and asking people to check out PP's content before voting, because of this little man, I absolutely dominated the poll and defeated PP and Robert Watch. I felt incredibly bad for PP, aka Plumage Productions, since he was incredibly underrated on YouTube, and for something like this to happen was incredibly disappointing. I imagined he would be furious, so I apologized many times, and he was much nicer than I actually expected. He didn't act angry, disrespectful, or anything. I would say that he was being quite cooperative, as well as being very sportsmanship-like. Just a great dude overall, something I didn't expect at all, especially in this situation. I asked Galitinn if I could quit the Hall of Fame due to it being incredibly unfair to around 20 plus alts voting for me at a time. He thought about it and did the calculations, so supposedly I was gonna win anyway since it didn't seem like 50 alts voted for me. AKA, there was 50 votes between me and Plumage Productions. 50 votes from a tie. To let you know, I don't even think that 50 alts were created during that time. Though that isn't really an excuse. I should have been eliminated from the polls from what happens. But yeah, that was pretty much the main controversy of the alts in the YKW community due to how popular Galittyn's Hall of Fames are. This individual would join my streams quite frequently, though after a couple of months, they for some reason decided to do something different, might I say. Or maybe he was a different individual entirely, separate from Lord Emma. He would be creating alt accounts with sexually photographed profile pictures. I was genuinely quite scared, since I couldn't do anything at that time to stop Lord Emma from creating more. As well, I wouldn't ever want my audience to be spread to sexual art since it is a horrible habit and can be incredibly addicting. Especially since a lot of my audience is between the ages of 11 and 14. I wanted my audience to be completely safe and feel comfortable in my community. As well, at the time of those streams, I had a decent amount of stress, since I was worried that my Only Eerie team series would start to be irrelevant. This was due to my last couple of parts getting less views than normal. Thirdly, I would lose some important members of the community during the recent streams in that time. Although it wasn't as bad as the first time I took a break or made an attempt to restart my channel in 2021, I just didn't feel too good about streaming. It was a bit overwhelming streaming 3 hours every day after school and having to talk straight for the entire time. I would not get a single minute of a break, or else the viewers would leave out of boredom. And those are the many reasons why I left YouTube, not uploading content for an entire 2 weeks. By the way, while this happened, I was hoping that Lord Emma would eventually get bored of my channel and leave, or else I could get his IP banned from YouTube or something like that, preventing him from creating sexually profile pictured alts. I was originally planning to leave YouTube for many months, though when a family member inspired me to get back to streaming, saying something similar to, "Won't they just come back? There's nothing you can really do to stopping them." Which was kinda true. Lord Emma could always just use a VPN to change the location and whatever. After thinking about it, I decided to cut the time by a large amount. When I came back, I obtained a different schedule, giving me 4 break days on average per week for my mental health, along with being able to keep up with schoolwork. As well, I felt like I was having more fun in streams. Although that is speaking for currently, who knows, another controversy may occur over summer. I treated the alts more like a joke and would add Jaffa as a moderator to ban the alts if they had inappropriate profile pictures. I would thirdly upgrade my channel security in the comment sections. The alt situation was a slight problem, but was easily fixed during streams. Only after a couple of weeks of these procedures, the alts stopped creating alt accounts and would entirely stop watching the channel. Until now! As well, when I did see them last, they were much more behaved compared to what they used to be. There isn't too much to actually talk about now, just the Only Eerie series ending. As you guys know, a couple of days ago, I fought the Ghoul Father and defeated the main story of the Only Eerie series, aka defeating the entire main game of YKW 3. I really enjoyed this series, and I hope you guys had fun as well. At least for me, my favorites were Lario and Poke in the playthrough, though I would love to hear your guys's. Although we will be continuing the series at post-game, I don't believe that will be nearly as great as the main story. That was a once-in-a-lifetime chance for my channel, and it's probably going to be the most fun I will ever have around my channel. And that's because I'm planning to quit content creation once my summer break ends. It is simply because of me going to some sort of advanced school that will be much more difficult than the previous year. That means that I'll be spending much more time on the schoolwork rather than streaming and creating content. Quite an average way to go out for most YouTubers, and if I'm being honest, it somewhat feels good to leave something behind. As you may have remembered from the start of this video, I enjoy restarts. I enjoy leaving something behind, seeing that the past doesn't matter, and that only the future will. I won't be like most YKW YouTubers, who just move on to a different game to make content on, and then will stab the community in the back. I'll forever stick with YKW. If I don't make content, I won't make content. My channel really started growing once I started making YKW content, and I plan it to end that way. Anyway, I think I'm being a bit too emo here, so I'll just move on to the credits. I'll only be saying the names of those who I believe have watched enough content. due to taking up way too much time facing thousands of names. Sadly, there was no active viewers in my far past before I had deleted over 40 videos to let you know. Massive thanks to the people who watched my content before I started making Paradise Ball attempts. They are Clear Creator, Max John W, Sam Orchard, and WH. As well, here are some of the most OG viewers of my Overwatch videos. They watched my content before I even made it to 100 subscribers. Thanks for watching before I even got 100 subscribers. Game Stuff, LPBY, Scott Bugay, SMT Taylor, The Big Fats, Tony the Memer, Shovelnyan, Yokai Guy. Then there was the 100 subscriber, whose username was Corrupted World. He would leave the channel after a couple of weeks, while another person, who was known as the 101st in the past community, he was a Summer Stormfire. Then, there's the long list of viewers who joined the community before I actually got my first Paradise Ball. You'll most likely remember a ton of them, so yeah, try to listen. So those legendary dudes are Aries Nor, Algebra PM, Amin, Arming Singh, Builder Toad, Dark, Desperado, Felix Higgins, Fire W, Funper, Gideon J, Gotcha Boy, GGG K, Goated, Hell's Gate, Houtarou, Hayaki, Jori 7, Jorio, Captain Quake, Ligma, Ligma DLQ, Luigi Gaming, Mario 22 Blue, Master EXE, Nova, Nah Channel, OK Nat, Brand, Samex Switch, Shadow Monarch, Skiria Nova, Some Guy, Slow Down, Spider QB, Sunny Raj, Super Cat, Terrier, Thomas Vera, Trip Scorch, Wicked AD, Waganog, Zarud, Zerabita. And then there was the best moment of the channel, when I had received the Paradise Ball. In the comment section, Builder Toad had made quite a legendary comment. As well, many others were really supportive and happy. I also appreciate the guys who watched my content before I started streaming Overwatch 4. Thanks to the smaller next generation during the times of the Sandy attempts and the start of the second Paradise Ball attempts. Those people are Carter Keeps Quiet, Jonya, Lunix Zero, Michael Williams, Nap Nap, Nate Boy, Pop Smokey, Power Games, Tricky Wickbow. The next era of my channel will be streaming Overwatch 4, where I try to regain my viewers from the original Paradise Ball attempts, as well as gaining many new viewers. Thanks to the guys who joined during my 4 streams and supported me through the hardest times of my channel, before it grew back in the second half. Those new viewers who joined during the first half of the Overwatch 4 streams may actually be watching while I'm talking currently in this video. Those dudes were Arnouts, Asmasiah, Astro, Dutch Waffle, Elvis G, Emmy, Ending, Geometry Hub, Hashiro, Human Bean, Jack Brooks, Jaffa, James Peter, OKJ, Peter Halling, Random Toad, Sackjack, Top Gun, Wesley, and finally Overwatch Fan 32. Then there was the second half of the 4 streams, after I had recovered from a sickness, as I said a long while ago in the video. Here are the viewers that joined during the period of the time after I recovered from the sickness and before I started streaming Overwatch 2. 6 Lames Studio, 32 Smackaroons, McKing, Nathan Dresner the Animator, Romeo, Samantha, and Taiceii. That was practically the end of the struggles with our community, and now the only way is onwards to the peak of the Overwatch 2 streams! Now for the viewers that joined this channel between the start of the 1 million yard walk to the cancellation leading to the end. You are about to hear a ton of recognizable names, but here they are. 101 Leafy, Amazing Friend, Anthony J, Benny, Blix, Bryce, Chocolate Barnez, Cremation, Delphos BR, Drummerwave, Alec Tert, Encrypted Dysfunction, E0, Gabe, GameNyans, Goofiest Goober, Hatch to Dig Studios, Hugo, IBX, Ink Soul, Jam, Jeremiah Evans, Jordan Thomas, Jose, Lexpex, Lonely Non-Binary, Lord Emma, Maxcraft, Mikey Fuller, Nag, Ohio, Panda Pro, Prize Sanctify, Pika Yeki, the Duck Dude, Red Eye 5, Sadie, Seth Parfits, Snake Boy Clips, Static, Structure Madness, Super One, TheLgameZ, Tim U, Warrior, Wibla, and finally, Yohanatan Tavor. Those were the viewers before my series and even farther onwards. By the way, to give you some encouragement at the end, I'll be giving a bit of congratulations to members who excelled on particular things, and whatever. But anyway, there are even more members who had joined after the 1 Million Yard series and before the last YokoWatch 4 stream. This is the time where the channel started growing like wild, and on average we would hit 100 views per stream. The dudes who joined during this time were Ashiadi, Bren Barrio, Chum, Cody, Desi Doolin, Did You Have $50 Cash, Family Wireman, Forkbow, Gilbert the Goat, I Am a Bear, Jacko, Jade, JF, Justin, Casimir LP, Keep It Simple, Caro, Last Yon Mirai, Leo Whitelock, Lynn, Miko, Minion Kid, Mystic, N67, Ocean, Octodoodle, Oofer, Foop, Squid Boy, Underscore, and Yardanos Mew. Afterwards, there would be no other YokoWatch 4 streams. It would simply be the 2 and the only Eerie streams. You would think that it kinda lowers my stress to a degree since I didn't enjoy streaming 4, but for some reason it didn't. In between the last 4 streams and the start of my break, there are many controversies. There were small ones that everyone agreed with, such as the N67 one, and then there were some that people didn't side with me for. Thanks to the new viewers, or people who started being active, that supported me during such times. Such as R. Diedman, Brian, Cork Nast, Enner, Gorilla Monkey, Ivy, Laser, Mighty Muse, One Happy Boy, Savvy, Shogunyan, Sylvan, Socks for Brains, Squeaks, Toaster Boy, and Tokoyami. It's our return. That was when I would finally start back my Infinite Tunnel series. Oh, and by the way, you are nearly done listening to the credits by this point. Here are the many new viewers from the start of my return from the drama to the near end of the Infinite Tunnel run. Or at least we're the second last Infinite Tunnel walk stream till now. And history. C9s, Cameron L, Galitinn, Golden Thomas, H-Crafts, Han, James Montgomery, Jonathan Moss, Mew and Her, Sammy Man, Thinking Demons, TheLgameZ, and Zip. Then there was eventually the 1,000 subscriber stream. Up from this point, the 1K Infinite Tunnel run was probably one of the most fun times I've ever had. I got to Harrisville and went to Dukesville in the only Eerie series, along with making my first full stream in the Divine Paradise. One of my most unique streams in my opinion, and many more things. Oh, and by the way, I lost a bit off track, so let's continue off with some of the viewers. I hope these dudes had a fun time, since I sure did. Chris, Clarence, Crazy WPB, Fede, 4, Frost, Good Gamer, Half Draggy, Jerik, Killer Kerne, Liliana, Maria, Nathan, Pokemaster, Rayhan Ray, Shogunyan, Ultra Creeper Life, Unbeatable Sheep, Vedronker, Watermelon, Willow, and yokai know-how. Finally, the end of your misery, hearing me say an incredible amount of names. Next is only a bit more left. The times from my 1K special stream to the end of the main only Eerie series were kinda celebrative, and somewhat chill. Keep in mind that this doesn't include the people from the Puni Puni collab stream. You could tell from then and onwards I tried a bit more with the thumbnails, make them look a bit more smooth. But here are the last remaining viewers. Alex Lopez, Blaney Law, Doge, Endor, Fleeksy, George Loves, Glitch, Juan, Kanachan, Loud 4D, Pusha T Jr., Sparkle Sparkle, and Underrated Destroyer. Thank you all for watching. I strongly do appreciate you guys, and hopefully I'll remember most of you as I continue on streaming, and along with my life. I had a great time, and I hope you guys did too. Although it may not seem like all those people actually watched my channel, they did, and that's what makes you guys sadly more average. But I wouldn't like to end this off with a deep note, so let's march on to the last topic of this video. Kinda trophies per se, or something similar, like the best memes ranked in the channel, where Place 3, American Kidnapper. Place 2, Ohio by SimplyTheOhioGuy. And then number 1 meme of the channel, Duck started by Pika Yeki, who would type a ton of duck emojis, and it eventually would become extremely popular in the Discord, as well as YouTube chats. Pika Yeki would always react with the duck emoji for every single Discord message I ever sent to the server, which is humongous dedication. As well, he became friends with so many viewers. You may even be friends with him while you're currently watching this. Next rank, for the most active viewer in the entire channel. Placement 3, Last John Marai. Number 2, Static Overdrive. And the winner at number 1 is Desi Doolin. Although Arnavd and houtarou were incredibly active in the past, they weren't able to make it to the more frequent streams in these couple of months. Only active for the Overwatch 4 streams, sadly. So, Desi Doolin was incredibly active for nearly all my streams once he joined. Although, like Arnavd, he slowly got less active, but all the streams that he did watch filled up the gap. Quite a nice guy for most of the streams, and acted decently mature. Oh, and thanks Last John Marai for watching so many of the nearby streams and being incredibly active in the chats, always bringing entertainment, even though you didn't have to. The third trophy is who said the most of the same things. Third place, SimplyTheOhioGuy's Ohio. Second place, Clarence's LOL. And the winner at number 1 is Prize Sainterfy's BRB. Although the Ohio guy would say Ohio each time he joined the stream, it wasn't nearly as much as Clarence's LOLs. Nearly 95% of Clarence's messages had LOL at the end of them. While Prize Saintify, an 11-year-old man, managed to say BRB an incredible amount of times. By the way, if you didn't know what BRB means, it stands for Be Right Back. Normally each 10 minutes Prize Saintify was in stream, he would type BRB. And keep in mind, he had been in our community for a very long length of time, so he also got the upper hand. But yeah, thanks Prize Saintify for always clarifying that you would be right back. Not a single time he failed on that message. Then, for the most useful and helpful moderators in our community. In third, Taiceii. Ranked second, Static. And then number 1, Jaffa. So, Jaffa was pretty much the only one who actually moderated the Discord as well as the streams, for whatever reason. He has been incredibly helpful in the community, trying to create an entire bot to help run the Whimsy Valley Discord, along with making the Divine Arachnian texture mod. Taiceii tried to help out, but failed, while Static actually helped out with the old situation. Though special thanks to Mario22Blue, who's the most supportive on the Discord, as well as being one of the most OG members. In the final trophy I'll be ranking, the most talented artists in our community, who made such beautiful Divine Arachnian artwork. In third place, Miko. Ranked second is Underscore. Number 1, Gavster. Miko made great art, having Divine Arachne with a mustache. It really intrigued me, might I say. It was just really clean artwork overall, though sadly not as good as Underscore's. If you guys didn't know, my current profile picture was actually made by Underscore himself, and I really liked it. It was way too good for someone my subscriber range on YouTube. Meanwhile, on the Whimsy Valley Discord server, we had a member called Gapster. They were a very talented artist, making things that you could see right over here. They made highly detailed art, as well as making the most out of anyone. As well, he made most of my Discord profile pictures. Anyway, I'm not as good as any of the three, so I really shouldn't be talking. Though, thanks so much to Miko, Underscore, and Gapster. You guys would make awesome digital artists in the future. Oh, and by the way, Last John Marai somehow knew the most about me, out of the community. He ranked first in a booklet about the channel's history, so yeah, good job, Non-Marai. As well, huge thanks to Shinlean, Jackson, and Loud40 for spending the hard-earned cash to boost our Discord server. Appreciate it a ton, you three, and it astonishes me how much you are willing to go for our community. Alrighty, I think I'm done with the congratulations there, but we still got a bit more time left. There were tons of people in our community, and I cherished them quite a bit, so I decided to give them a part in this video. Totally not forced. So they have some messages to say. Here's the first message by SimplyTheOhioGuy.
Oh, hi.
And then there is Jaffa, a valued member in our community, as well as being the best moderator we ever had.
Hey guys, most of you probably know me as Jaffa Cat. I help run the Whimsy Valley Discord server and Will has kindly invited me on today just to say a few words. I would like to just say that the channel growth for Will is amazing. In less than half a year, Will has grown from 100 odd subscribers to over 1,000 now, which is just a massive achievement. This helps the community grow to what it used to be, and Will has done a good job by pretty much doing daily live streams to involve the community with his content as much as possible. This is why I really like about the community, and hopefully it will grow back to what it used to be. That's all I really have to say. Back to the video, I guess.
What Jaffa is pretty much talking about here is how much our community has been recycled and how it used to be before the drama break of the channel. But let's move on to another member who has been here for a very long time in the community, as well as being a YouTuber himself. Desperado.
Hey Will, it's Desperado 2 here. I just want to say, congratulations man on 1,000 subscribers. That is amazing. Congratulations man, that is just totally awesome, you know? And I just want to say that you have a pretty amazing community. If it wasn't for them, I probably would not have found your YouTube channel.
Quite a nice message from Desperado, and let's move on to a Yokai Watch Fan 32. Although he didn't feel comfortable voicing it, he still put out his message there, which was nice of him. Back in the day, he was a very active member who focused on school it's on and was friends with many of the past viewers such as houtarou and more. I'll be voiced his message, and here it is. Hello everybody. I was excited to see a YouTuber that still makes Yokai Watch content. My favorite thing about Will is that he replied to people and made it fun for everyone watching. Thank you all for the good times we had so far. Next up is houtarou's message, being a part of the previous Yokai Watch 4 community, as well as Discord. Since he can't voice it right now because of some mic issues, I will be voicing it. I've been in this community for almost a year, and even though we have experienced hardships, we are still such a great community. I made many friends among the Whimsy Valley Discord server, and we all get along so well. It's always so fun to be around everyone, and also live streams are always so fun. Gameplay is amazing, and chat is active. I'm so glad I'm a part of this community. Since I did give him the option, he decided to write a message, which is fine, since a couple have already done that. Random Toad says, well, Will's community is really cool, as well members are nice. As well, it's fun to talk there, and during voice chats it's really fun, and the community entirely is really awesome. I think it's one of the coolest communities, and the challenges are really good too. Will's streams are always so fun to watch. Entirely, the community is really fun to talk to and with and be in. My favorite moments were basically the streams, since they were always so fun to watch. Alrighty, that should be done, and the video is practically now over. I hope you guys had a fun time watching. I guess since it was incredibly long. This video was kind of a summary of the entire channel, and a good checkmark if anyone wants to look back on something. If you guys learned something that you never knew about me or others, then my mission is practically complete. There was many ways this channel could have gone, and I am incredibly lucky that it went this way. There isn't much that I regret. Oh, and by the way, whenever I say that I am stressed, it is pretty much because of my personality, wondering how things could go so very badly. I can't overestimate things. Though I should end it here. Thanks so very much, by the way, guys. You all made such important impacts on the channel, even though you may not think it. Every message counts when in a stream. Well, hope you guys have a good night. I'll be having one too, and yeah, guys. Peace.